Yeah, pull up feeling like a whole millie. Smell good. They know the vibe is really silly. Got that fresh cologne, now she wanna get with me. Stepping out the whip, the whole city smelling me. Smell good, yeah, that's a luxury. Smell good, level up your energy. Smell good, now they remember me. Smell good, welcome to the family.
All right, what's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? Can you hear me? I want to make sure, because I didn't see any ones. I want to make sure I can be heard, make sure that things are flowing well. Go ahead and drop those ones if you can hear me. All right, I see a one there. Perfect. Because some of y'all was a little slow on that one, but it's all good. Listen, welcome to Friday night. This is a live that just kind of decided to do it. I got back from Las Vegas yesterday. It felt late, even though it was only 6 o'clock of my time. So, but figured, you know what? It's another time to at least get in front of y'all. I didn't do the live this week because, of course, I was in Vegas. So I figured let's go ahead and have the conversation just to kind of give you all kind of an update on what we saw, experienced when we were at ASD. So I got my boy Dez, aka Southern Siage, my younger brother, as some people like to look at him and call him, because you know it's that light skin thing we got going on. But I've got him in the building. He was in Vegas with me, so let me bring him to the stage as well and have the conversation. What's going on, my guy?
What's happening, brother? What's happening? What's up, chat? What's going on? Happy Friday. What up?
Some people got paid. It's a good thing. That's a good thing.
That's always a good thing, man. That check keep rolling in.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So how'd your trip back go?
Left a bag at the airport. Didn't realize until I got all the way home. Had to take another hour ride back to the airport, get the bag. So yeah, I got to travel different, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. So I overpacked.
Okay.
I'm just gonna be real with you. I overpacked because I'm thinking about in my head the parties that was going on, the events and everything. I'm thinking about how hot it was gonna be, whether I was gonna need to change, all that stuff. You can relate. You feel me?
I can definitely relate. Yes.
So I didn't know. So I overpacked, but then I also, I left with a lot of stuff. So now I got, more than just my carry-on. I got other stuff. I got bags and everything. So lucky enough, the crew that I was with, they helped me out, man. But when we got off that bus that took us back to the parking ride, ended up forgetting a bag on the bus and didn't realize until I got home. So I had to double back, swing back. So I got back home. I think we landed Houston time around 9:30.
Okay.
I was back home for like 10, but I didn't get back home to about like 12:15. So
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah. So traveling, but other than that, leaving out of Vegas and everything went smooth.
Good.
Yeah,
What
about yourself?
Then that last day, so I was there Thursday, and I was only planning to be there for like 2 hours. I was like, let me get there at 9 o'clock. Let me break out at 11 o'clock. That way, because I'm hitting the road, I'm driving. So like 4.5 hour drive. So I ended up sticking around to like almost 1 o'clock, just because there were some conversations that was happening and some good stuff that was taking place. And so when I finally broke out, it was like almost 1 o'clock. Then I hit it. I did my whole thing of finding that person that's going to go hit that 90-95 and slide in behind them.
You find your rabbit.
And so did that, got home pretty quickly, and then I went to bed because my body was just tired. I was tired.
I crashed, man. I crashed. I slept in. I'm like, you know what? Everybody will get this content as soon as I get up. That's all I got. I think we did a good job of feeding the stories and keeping everybody kind of living in the moment through us and everything. So that was dope. That was a lot of feedback that I got, that some people were saying they wasn't seeing much content like while we was out there, but I think a few of us did a good job of actually feeding, at least through stories, to kind of keep people engaged with what we had going on. So
exactly. And there was, and again, for me, sometimes when I'm there, it's like, because I was trying to operate in two ways, as business owner and as content creator. I was trying to make sure I kind of did the things as far as that, but also there were some conversations it was just like, I can't feed you the story of that because there's some of the things that are coming out of that.
Right. Go and get your boy out the chat. He's starting already. It's too early for this shit.
Oh, Prison Cheeks. Okay.
Yeah. Go and get him out. He missed being inside. That's what it is.
His mama didn't feed him.
Yeah, well,
maybe she got him off that a little too early.
Well, I told him to let me know where his mama at. I'll feed her.
That might be the problem too. She getting fed. So let's see if I can find him, because I gotta. All right, but let's go ahead. Anyway, I'll get him out. He'll be banned here in just a moment. But yeah, so then for me, ASD, as far as just how it operates and kind of what if you're looking for ASD to kind of come to ASD, it really is only for those that are looking to do business, as far as like retail stores, stuff like that. Or if you're a content creator, it's a good way to get in front of brands. It's not really a fan event. It's not really it's not a frag con. Let's just say that. It's definitely not a frag con.
Not at all.
So if you're coming in thinking you're going to frag con, no, it's not that at all. Even the parties are kind of like, they're designed again to just kind of keep you in front of people and kind of connecting you. Right.
Yeah, it was very industry driven. The entire I think Kuba actually, Kuba Knows actually put out a video today, and he was speaking about the brands and celebrities. You know, he was kind of like, you know, they don't care. They don't care nothing about fragrances. They just need their check. You take a couple pictures and they out. You know what I'm saying? But I think a lot of people who attended FragCon, you know, of course, we seen those familiar faces that were at, you know, ASD. And I could tell we wasn't the only ones. Like I could still see that people were still riding a high from FragCon. So it's kind of like, you know, but it wasn't that type of environment. You know what I'm saying? So you really had to have a business mindset. I learned a lot from there. That was a business trip. That was a business trip. That was a very successful business trip, might I add. But it was definitely night and day from FragCon easily.
Right. FragCon was hanging out. Listen, let's hang out, run around, have fun, what have you. But ASD was okay. As a content creator, if you don't know who I am, let me introduce myself. Let me kind of make sure you know who I am, and let me sell myself to you. And let's see how we can work together, how we can get connected. So that's the thrust of much of the conversations, but also kind of seeing the new things that are coming out, the new things that are going to be hitting soon. I even found out the story behind. So, you know, what is it? Afnan, or is it Armaf? The Club de Nuit Pre-Show. There's
that's Armaf.
Pre-Show 1, and then there's Pre-Show 4.
Yeah, the gold bottle.
Yes. And I've been like, okay, what happened to 2 and 3? Because the way I was taught, at least in the Chicago public school system, was 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
But I found out that actually is they're coming out with 2 and 3 next year, because something with musical notes, as far as like on the piano, 1 means something, 4 means something, and then you follow up to 2 and 3. So I'm like, okay, I get it, it makes sense, but I don't see musical notes in the presentation, so it doesn't make sense to me. But as long as they got a plan for 2 and 3, cool. But it's stuff like that you find out, that you have the opportunity to kind of, again, have the conversation, to find out different things, get a heads up as to what's coming, and just kind of get the further story behind some brands and some of the things that they're doing.
No, facts. That was what I loved about it, was this aspect. It was kind of like the same thing as FragCon. To be able to explore fragrances and have the creators of those actual fragrances in front of you, guiding you through what you're smelling. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a dope experience, because normally when you go to any store, whether it's a Middle Eastern store, whether it's a designer store, Macy's, Dillard's, or even if you go into a high-end store, whether it's a Neiman Marcus, Saks, Nordstrom, or any like specialty niche store, you're smelling fragrances, and it's up to you to determine what's going on with it. You know, you can have the note breakdown or whatever, but when you actually have the innovator, the perfumer, the person that actually designed this smell kind of walking you through what you're smelling, that's dope. And we got a lot of that. I mean, we got all of that at FragCon, but we got a little bit from those bigger Middle Eastern brands that, you know, we all either blind buy, we don't know what we're getting other than just some notes that's described or something like that. So it was it was dope. It was really, like I said, you got to have your business hat on. I know I stepped off the plane and I was in go mode. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, okay, cool. I got my fun party fix at FragCon, but now it's time to put the business hat on, and you gotta have that mindset. Because the thing about it is, the brands are there for, like I said, for the business, for the online companies, for the storefront companies, for these companies to actually make orders and start getting these brands in their stores. But they also had dedicated people for pretty much each brand that works with creators and social media.
Yes.
You're not going to know that because they're not advertising with a sign. You actually physically have to be able to go talk to these people. So this is one of those, this is one of those situations to where you got to have people skills. You got to be not afraid to talk to people. You got to not be afraid to sell yourself. You got to not be able to, you got to get out of the mindset and say, okay, well, I don't know if I can go talk to this person because this major influencer is standing right here who works with them. They might not want to deal with me. You got to take that chance. You have to bet on yourself in those type of situations. And I can speak for me personally and for you as well. Yeah, we did some things that a lot of people wasn't able to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was, for example, our person over at Michael Malone.
Facts.
Phenomenal conversation, getting the heads up, getting the idea, the information as far as what's coming up. I'll tell y'all right now, we'll probably talk more about it a little later, but the 2 new ones coming from Michael Malone, fire.
Yeah, I think I dropped the vid yesterday. So what is it? Fresh Ink is actually dropping in October. That's going to be the new journalist flanker, which is so damn good. And
the way I describe that one is, new journalist is you fresh out of college, it's your entry-level job. Fresh Ink is you got promotion, you might even get a corner office with that one because it's that much more mature, that much more.
Nah, facts. And I looked at it like I started using ink as tattoo, and I'm like, okay, now new journalist was that teenager. Now he done graduated, and now he done got that first tattoo, got a little edge about himself, got a little swagger about himself. So that's how I looked at that. And then also the new flanker of Ocean Noir, the Ultramarine, is going to be dropping as a Scent Explorer exclusive. So for all those attending Scent Explorer, that's when they're actually dropping it. So I believe they may be doing a launch party. I'm not too sure. I got to double check. But I know at Scent Explorer itself, they will be releasing the new Ocean Noir Ultramarine, which is fire. It's all fire.
And our guy Lucky was there too. Good to see you, Lucky.
What's good, Luck? Luck said he working. I hit Luck up, said he wanted to come on, man. Luck said he grinding right now. Y'all know Lucky done dropped a restock of Come Find Me, and y'all done found him. And so my man is over there working. Let's get
him some more work too. So yes, shout out to Lucky.
Facts.
Popping through. But yeah, at the end of the day, it was good to be able to, again, like you said, connect with those brand representatives that actually are dedicated towards us as content creators. So there was a question here. Let me kind of go back to it. Marion asked me, so since I've been to a few of these now, which has been better for me as a content creator, and secondly, as a fan of fragrance. So each of those 3 things do different things for me, right? So Scent Explorer was me as a fan of fragrance, right? That was where I got to put nose on things that I'd never put nose on and experience things that I might not ever have been able to put experience because of just where I live or that. So Scent Explorer was best for me as a fan of fragrance. ASD was best for me as a content creator. And then FragCon was just best for me as a part of the community. That was just, I think that's how I look at it. FragCon was just, this is the community having the block party. And so they each fit different phases of what I want to accomplish. What about you, bro? I know you haven't been to Scent Explorer, but between FragCon.
Nah. It's I couldn't have said it better. That's pretty much what it was. Like I said, from a content creator standpoint, ASD all day, because the brands are there, willing to work with you. They want to hear about you. They want to know, as much as you may think like, oh man, a brand don't want to. Brands want as much exposure as possible. All right. They're just, but they have to know who they're working with. So this is your opportunity to not send a DM, not send an email, but to actually get in front of these people and let them know who you are. So if you're the type of person that feel like you can't accomplish nothing unless you sit behind a desk and do it, shoot an email, a DM, a text, it ain't gonna work for you. But if you're the type of person that honestly can move and groove better by actually speaking to people in person, places like ASD is their best opportunity, because the brands, the representatives are there. The marketing team are there. The content creator, the PR people are there. Everybody who asks about PR, go to ASD. Now, I can't say it's going to work perfectly, but the people are there. So if you put in the work, this is your opportunity to try to see, you know, the fruits of your labor pay off by going to actually meet these people. Because what's dope is I was able to actually go meet PR reps, marketing reps, and pull out my phone and show them videos of me already marketing and promoting their brand. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole different eye opener, because they're looking at you like, yo, we don't know you.
Right.
But not only are you coming to us saying that you've purchased our fragrance, but you pretty much have been promoting our fragrance, and it kind of makes them feel kind of obligated to show their love back and start working with you. So that was a vibe. Like that was a dope thing about it. Like going to these different brands, knowing that you have already explored their house, already dove into it, big fan of them, whatever, have a huge collection of this particular house, and you can showcase that to these brands, kind of makes them hard to say that they don't want to work with you, because you've kind of already showed that, hey, I can already represent you in a great way. Now I just need you to give me that opportunity.
Yeah. And Ralph, yeah, that's definitely, that's why one of the goals is to get to Dubai Beauty World. That's another place I want to get to. This year it does look like, of course, but next year would be, my plan would be to try and get to Beauty World. And I'm trying to see if I can find a way to get to Essence as well, just because, again, we talk fragrance, so not just inspired brands, but we want to talk all. So those are places that absolutely have to be. So, in fact, my wife's going to be back with me when I go to ASD in March. My wife's going to be there with me, because then she can definitely help me with those, the business side, while I also handle the content creation side. So perfect.
Yeah, man. Look, and that's one of the things is like, it's tough as a content creator, man. It's like you want to capture these moments, you want to get content, but then you also like, yo, I want to go talk to people. I want to, I want to make sure I sit down at the table with these guys, discuss what they're looking for, sell myself, and do all those different things. And you got to have a balance. I mean, just like with FragCon, you want to get content, but at the same time, you want to enjoy yourself. So it's a balance when you go into these situations, like, it's a balance.
Yeah. So, I mean, when we got there, I think we got there around the same time. I know you were in line, and then I was in line, and we were trying to figure stuff out. But the first place that we hit up, the first place we walked over to was Hawass. I think that was the first place that we
right there at Rasasi, man. Let me tell you something. You start seeing who got the money in this space. We ain't talking about the parties. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a little bit.
That's a whole fact about.
But it's just the build outs of some of these booths. This ain't regular booths. This ain't a table with a backdrop. Nah, this is something different. You start seeing where the money starts to reside when it comes in this space. But Rasasi's whole display was beautiful, gorgeous, and of course everything was centered around their new private line brand, and that was fire.
Yeah,
that was fire.
Yeah,
that was fire.
I know someone had asked me as far as the whole price of that. I think the word I got is they're going to be $70 to $69.99, just so. But we'll get into that a little later as far as the private line. But just them, and then you could see, like you said, as far as who had the money, who was definitely willing to have the conversation, who was definitely willing to just kind of talk to you. Even brands that we may not necessarily cover a whole lot, but like who was there, like Ajmal, who I did an interview with, Ahmed Al-Maghribi, even Arabia Prestige. So there was just a whole variety of brands that you might have heard about or maybe not have heard about that were there. I even got connected with a brand that's just kind of starting getting launched too. So it was good, but again, just to drive home, it is for the content creator that wants to do business, or the business owner that is wanting to figure out purchase and things like that. So let's get some questions here. There's one question here. What's the best thing you smelled at ASD?
Ooh, it gotta be yeah. Notorious from LR Lux's King of Kings collection. Man, if y'all seen that video with me and Hardbody and Danielle, and then another video that Hardbody and them did with Kev jumped in, and we had Luis himself from King of Kings and LR Lux, man, that Notorious. If you ever smelled Dior, is it Paradise?
Paradise, yeah.
Man, that thing right there. That's probably the best. Yeah, that was ridiculous. But what that did was allow me to explore the entire King of Kings collection, because the only one I had at that time or before then was Renegade. But to be able to explore, yo, the House of King of Kings, if y'all not tapped in, man, let me tell you, serious. Hey, hey, I'm right there with you.
So yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna have to co-sign that. That was the one that I was just like, and you some of you may have seen my story where I'm like showing the Parodies bottle and the Notorious bottle.
Hold on 1 second. You good, go ahead. Go.
Okay. But yeah, I'm showing both, and I'm going back and forth and saying twin, because they are very close. They are very nice. That was probably for me the best thing that I smelled there. Runners up, of course, just from the aspect of, I mean, if I could just go through each house, the new Michael Malone Fresh Ink is probably the one that I'm even more looking towards. Ocean Noir, I think it's called Ultramarine, that's going to be coming out, is solid. It's in that Ocean Noir line. But that Fresh Ink was definitely like, okay, this is really my speed as far as that type of fragrance. Someone asked about the new Hot Lodge. The new Hot Lodge is nice. Yes. I only walked out with one bottle.
Fire. Review coming tomorrow. Fire.
And then the ladies is nice as well. So they dropped two. They dropped one for the fellas, one that was unisex really, and then Muse, which was for the ladies.
Right. I'm looking in the chat also. Can anyone speak on how close Game of Spades Bluff is to Exton Helio Speed Legends? Now, I've smelled Speed Legends probably 3 times and Night Drive in passing. I don't own it, so of course I can't put it right there. But whenever Speed Legends does it, you get that same feeling with Bluff. It's a very, very easy to wear, very niche citrus forward fragrance. Like, but I know Bluff is fire. I actually experienced that at FragCon. I didn't even bother to smell it again at ASD because, like I said, I had smelled it at FragCon, and I believe it's on the way now from Game of Spades. So once that gets in, I'll definitely let you know.
Yeah, because I've not put nose on Speed Legends, so I couldn't tell you kind of anything concerning it. So I can't speak to it. It does, as far as Bluff, it does smell good. And again, for me, I'm always going to say that at the end of the day, whether it's a inspired take or not, the important thing is how does it smell, whether it's close to the original or not. And it's
right. It's a damn good fragrance. I think Walt just had posted, he picked it up today when he smelled it. Like he felt like he had to get it. So I'm hearing a lot of people say like they really rock with Bluff. So yeah, it's one of those things that once it becomes more widely available, you just got to get your nose on it, make your own decision. But it's a very good ass fragrance. Good. And then of course with Game of Spades, you're not gonna have any problems with longevity or projection at all. They normally nail that down pat.
Yeah. And I know they've got some other things. Ronaldo didn't really get into details, but I know they've got some other things that are planned for the next few months after these 2 releases.
Yeah. I know.
Okay.
And I'm happy. Let's put it this way. I'm happy. Shay was asking about Muse. Did you smell Muse? I'm be honest with you.
I smelled it briefly on my wife. I know she liked it. She was like, "This mine?" I was like, "Yes, yours." She's like, "Okay, good." And it went right on her dresser with all of her other fragrances. So
yeah, I have it downstairs. My wife hadn't even cracked the box yet. We might make that her scent of the day tomorrow so I can give some more feedback. I got you, Shay. Don't worry about it.
We'll get you taken care of. We'll get you the information for sure. Drip's in the building. Good to see you guys, Drip. Let's see what else.
Yeah. This.
Now, I'm mad, and Riff owes me a bottle. Because here's that smells amazing.
Yo, this is God damn.
Roth, yeah, definitely. Appreciate you, Roth. Here's why I'm mad at Riffs. And I can't be too mad at him, okay? because they said, hey, come back on Thursday, we'll get you taken care of. I'm like, cool. I'll double back on Thursday. Wednesday night, at the close of business on Wednesday, somebody was like, we're gonna buy this whole booth.
No.
Whole booth of riffs. So when I'm coming by early on Thursday morning, like, hey, they're like, oh no, everything is already accounted for. Like literally the guy is like taking stuff off the shelf there, putting them in boxes, making sure what's empty, what's not, and they're packing it into suitcases and stuff. So riffs, y'all need to send me a bottle for sure.
Hey, I got mine the first day.
I'm
telling you, like, I was on that Denzel mode. I'm leaving here with something. It is what it is. I'm gonna tell you what the trick was. You let them see you doing a video promoting it in their space, and then you like, yo, I'm about to put this out. You know what I'm saying? Free promo, come along, and that's how I did it, pretty much.
Okay.
But nah, this was after I talked to that marketing guy and everything, and had to get some business stuff situated. That I was not afraid. If you go to these events, they have bottles everywhere. Their entire booth and display is going to be. Riffs had, bottles on like shelves, and it had to be at least at minimum 50 bottles just in Riffs display. And I'm like, y'all not gonna miss one of these. That's how I was operating. So, but nah, this is fire. The way I look at it is like this. I'm a huge fan of the original.
Yes.
Like, I'm a huge fan. Like, I've already screamed that from the mountaintops. Like, with me being a freshy fragrance lover, that right there is still, I'm on my second bottle of Freeze. So it's like, when I seen they was doing the flanker, I got excited, but I'm like, okay, please don't mess it up. Please don't mess it up. And they didn't. They pretty much toned down the lemon in the original, took back that menthol a little bit that a lot of people didn't like that sharp, like mentholic bite, and added mango and added a juicy raspberry. Yo, this and it was crazy. I didn't know nothing about it until ASD was approaching.
Yes.
Nothing. Yeah. I think even our guy Ali, man, when he was supposed to actually be in the building for that Monday night party, sorry about that, bro. He didn't even know that was, that's what it was centered around. I think it wasn't until like Daniel Renee maybe I did a video,
right,
and people kind of knew something was up. But man, this one right here, and it's loud. It's loud. They pretty much made like a slightly warmer, sexier version of that Freeze. They just gave that Freeze a little bit more swag. That's pretty much what they did.
Yep. So yeah, that's a solid one. I completely understand Riffs being out of it when I came around, but I need them to figure out a way to kind of hook me up and take care of me. So
yeah. And then speaking of our first stop, yes.
Oh yeah. You got full on.
Yeah. Yeah. I told you, I'm leaving here with something. I'm leaving here with something. That's gonna be coming to y'all in a very extended YouTube video, but yeah, it's dope, and the whole box just fell out. But
yeah,
y'all will see more of the presentation in my YouTube video. But
yeah,
we got 3 of them that released in the private line, and I'll kind of go in order of when I smell them. But Lucio, it's gonna be your first joint.
Yep,
that's gonna be your first joint. Was this the first one we had talked about?
Yeah,
was this the first one? Yeah, kind of had that little green essence to it a little bit.
Yep,
fire.
Yep.
Then I went over to Terra, which kind of took over, and I was like, okay, I like this one better. And then we slide over to the third one. And we got Dulce, which ended up being my favorite one. So it was crazy. If they would have dropped 5, my favorite would probably been the 5th, because it seemed like they just kept getting better and better as we went down the line. But y'all will see more footage on that. I'll be putting out footage of that actually tomorrow. But yeah, Hawass went niche. We was actually blessed to speak with the perfumer and the person that was behind actually creating it. But they did Nah, they did something serious, man. Like they're dope.
They're not there, and they are originals. They are not anything that I can put nose on and say this is what they're going after.
Nah. That's all. Like I said, they took Hawaii stepped into their niche bag. Like this is not. They didn't touch it up. You know, they didn't go for the dupe aspect. They didn't go for the inspired by lane. They say, you know what? Not only we're gonna do something original, but we'll step it up. We're gonna make it niche. So I guess that's where the whole private line and everything came about from. But nah, they fire. They fire. They
and I don't have a code or anything, but I think from what the FragSense guy told me, they're available on FragSense right now for pre-order for it's like $69.99. So if you're looking for it, that's where you can kind of go. But that's definitely, it's a good step in the right direction for Hawaii. The three of them are solid, and same thing with Dez. As far as the first one that we smelled, I was like, okay, this is good. And then the second was like, okay, this is really my speed. And then the third one was like, because y'all have heard me, I'm not really a gourmand person. If it's a gourmand that's like overly sweet, I can appreciate it, but I'm not necessarily going to wear it. But that's a gourmand that's just nicely elevated that I'm like, okay, I could wear that and rock that.
Hey, do me a favor, pull up Raf's real quick, his comment about
this one.
All right. So Raf, no, the PDMs, that's coming from Barara. That's what that is. The Ray de Reyes is the Valero, which this one. So this is gonna be the Valero, this one right here. But they also have an Ray de Reyes orange and a Ray de Reyes yellow. That's going to be the other two from the PDM straight line, which is fire. Like, yeah. And they had an event, but unfortunately, my Uber driver decided to take me on the tour of Vegas, and by that time I was tired as hell. I wasn't even about to head there.
Yeah. All right, let me come back up. There's a question here. Can you speak on what it takes to be able to partner with a brand if you have a small channel? Having a conversation.
Yep.
Because he may be watching on over on IG, but my guy Scent Pharaoh official, George, he was kind of just hanging around, and he was like gleaning from us, and we sent him over to Michael Malone's, like, go have the conversation, go at least talk to them. And he went over, said, hey, Kevin and Dez sent me, and they were like, okay, cool, let's talk. And he basically got on their list too. So it's basically a matter of having the conversation, having enough, because again, a small channel today is a growing channel tomorrow. And at the end of the day, brands are looking for who's going to help them promote the stuff. Now, if you get PR and you don't do anything with it, then that's fine. You got your one free bottle, don't expect any more, right? But if you handle their, like we've heard Walt say, and like we've heard us say, if you handle their baby well, they appreciate you handling their baby well. If you tell the baby story well and you call that baby by its name, they love that. And so they're going to continue to figure out ways to kind of work with you. So at the end of the day, don't let the size of the channel be the thing. Now, of course, a bigger channel is going to get more attention sooner, as it were. But I'll even say this. Dez has had opportunities that I haven't had yet. And Dez, that's part of it's just because Dez is out there, and Dez is like, listen, let's have the conversation. So size of the channel doesn't really make a whole lot of difference if you're not having that conversation.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't give a shit. I didn't care who was standing next to me. You gotta realize we was in the room, or we was in these booths, or in these build outs with 500,000, 1 million. I didn't care.
Right.
That we're not talking about numbers. We're talking about me. So it's like, I made it a point, and I encourage everybody, don't get discouraged about where you at. You're there. You have an opportunity. The person who is in control of the products being sent to you, partnership deals, affiliate deals, or how for you to actually get aligned with that brand is standing right in front of you. Don't let what you think you shouldn't have stop you from going, at least attempting to have that conversation, man. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You know what I'm saying? What's the worst thing somebody gonna tell you? No. Grow your channel, grow your page. All right, cool. I'm gonna go to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So You just can't have that timid and they're looking for that. You got to realize brands get sent emails and DMs every single day about please partner with me. How can I represent your brand? I'm such and such. I'm growing my page. I love to work with you. They get it. It's hard to turn somebody away when you tap into their personality when they're right in front of you.
Right.
You got to have that conversation. That's the best way that I can explain to anybody. If that opportunity is right there in front of you, don't let nobody stop you. Because if anything, you're there for a reason.
Right.
If it was about follower counts, a number, you wouldn't even be next to this person or have the ability to have a conversation with them. So don't let that stop you because you got 500 followers. You're at an event standing next to somebody who makes the decisions of what goes on with that brand and who they work with. Take advantage of that opportunity, because you'll walk away saying that, you know what, man, I should have just talked to him and just gave it a shot. Or when you see somebody that's either on your level or maybe even below get an opportunity, now you're really going to be pissed at yourself. That shit, that you got to throw that all out the window. Like I said, I prefer to do that than to even send somebody an email or a DM, because like I said, you have to be able to sell yourself, and you have to be confident in what you can do for a brand, not just what they can do for you. And that's the whole selling point when it comes to it. So yeah, that's pretty much the basis. You just have to take advantage of the opportunity. And ASD, for anybody who doesn't know, when they first initially released ASD, like the dates and the events, it's free. It's actually free to register.
Yep.
Like you don't have to pay anything. So it doesn't cost you to get there. Like, so you just get there. You get there, whether you fly, you get your room, and you just go. And you now have access to go stand right next to a person and have a conversation with them. And I can say this, Kev, was there anybody that seemed like they didn't want to talk or have a conversation?
No, all of them. There was one person from Beauty House who I think is just his personality, but everybody was wanting to have the conversation. Everybody was wanting to talk to you. Everybody was wanting to, be helpful and tell you if they weren't the person, let me get you with this person, right? There was several times that I had people like, oh, you need to talk to so-and-so. They'll be back in about 10 minutes. Cool. Let them know I'm coming back to them. And I will circle back around and they'll be waiting for me, right? They knew I was coming back. So it was the conversations of just getting in front of people, having those conversations. And to Ralph's point here, work, right? And like you said earlier, Des, being able to pull up my channel and say, this is the work that I've done on behalf of your brand already. So when they're seeing videos that are out there and they're seeing that, and here's the thing, I'll tell you even, because one of the things I had a conversation with one of the brands, and they were like, we want to make sure that you're actually being a person, because they're getting a lot of requests from people that just want to do slides and do faceless video, and then they want PR. And the brand's like, no, that doesn't move the needle for our base. They want to see people. So the fact that you're in front of them having the conversation and you are presenting yourself, because there was a piece, I think you were someplace else, but there was a piece where with French Avenue, me and the guy were just having a conversation, and their marketing team came over and filmed it. And afterwards they were like, I never heard it explained that way or had that take on it, because I'm explaining why I think that, clones or inspired brands have a place within this space. Not saying that they're phenomenal across the board, but they have a place that will be helpful to niche brands and introduce people to larger things. And so when it's things like that, when they're hearing that, they're like, okay, now it's not just Kevin sitting behind a camera and a microphone, but now he's here talking to us.
This is real. This is real.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I think I walked up, I think he was just finishing up that convo.
Yes.
And then I walked up right after, and then he grabbed the iPad, started doing everything. And you think that's over with. Then right after he was done, he looks at me. He was like, so what are you looking to obtain in this? It was like, is it just PR? Do you want something else or whatever? And I'm not even going to go into the spiel, but I know I was, boy, look, I stood next to myself and looked at myself. I was like, boy, talk that shit. Because I swear I was just being as honest and real as possible as I can be. And you seen how that ended. We both walked away with success out of that booth. You know what I'm saying? So they're looking for that. They're looking for, like, they have to work with creators. Brands now know, if they didn't know, they know more so now than ever. We're their commercials. We're their advertisement, and it's a big payout for them, and it don't cost them that much. I mean, even if you have some kind of a deal, you're still not making as much as that brand is making. So they're not making commercials to run on TV no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They, you know what I'm saying? Like we're the commercials.
Yep.
We're the marketing. So they want to work with people. But the thing about it is they're more excited to meet the people that they're actually going to work with.
Right.
You know, not through a DM, not through content, because we got to keep it a buck. We don't know what's real or what's fake out there in social media. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things to where it's like, yo, if I get the opportunity to meet somebody that's going to represent our brand in person, I want to do that. So they looking to talk to people. So long story short, if you get the ASD or something like that and you have that opportunity, they're looking to speak with you. But you got to be confident enough in yourself to say, okay, here's what I'm going to do. And let them know what you bring to the table. Not just what you're looking for out of them, but what can you offer them to help grow their brand? I don't give a damn how big they are. They wouldn't be there looking for people if they still didn't want to grow and elevate. So let them know what you can do for them.
Yeah. You have to know what your differentiator is, right? I know where the majority of my audience sits. And so I'm telling you, I'm talking to one of the brands. I'm like, this is why you want to have the conversation with me, because I reach these people. This is who I talk to. This is who rocks with me. And so if you want this type of a demographic, if you want the rah-rah, hype train, I'm not that person. But I'm gonna give you this and give you that. And that's who you're speaking with, right? And so knowing who you are, knowing what your differentiator is, knowing those things is what you got to go in there knowing. And like Des said, be willing to have the conversation, be aggressive enough, because there's a difference, and we've talked about this, Des. There's a difference between hunger and desperation.
Yep.
And if you go in there hungry, you're gonna get fed. If you go in there if you go in there desperate, you're gonna get taken advantage of. So I want to
not just that, they can't trust you. Because if you're so desperate, as soon as another opportunity comes that's better than their opportunity, you're going to dismiss the opportunity they gave you because you're so desperate for the next thing. You're so desperate for the bigger bag. You're so desperate for the opportunity, or saying, I work with this person. So they're validation. They're looking for people who are passionate about what they do.
Yep.
So if that's where you fall at, if you fall into the category of us creators who actually are passionate about what we do, and it's not out of a space of necessity, but out of a place of want, like you wake up every morning and you want to do this and you choose to do this, those are people that they want to work with, because they can relate to the fact that you are going to take care, just like Walt always said, you're going to take care of their baby.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, like, I mean, and we'll get into the parties and stuff, but these brands put a lot of money into this. Just because they have a lot of money don't mean that they can, it's not by choice. They choose to put a lot of money into it. So their return on their investment is about who they work with and who they can trust. And ASD and different events like this gives people an opportunity to know who they're working with.
Right.
No matter what your follower count is. Because I swear to God, I didn't give a shit about my numbers or anything. I just wanted to talk to these people and let them know who I am and what I can do for them and how I would benefit partnering with their brand. And I told them straight up, my following, they buy. They buy. Our following that we got, me, you, and the crew, like, I know for a fact we got supporters that actually take what we say and they like, okay, cool. I want to elevate my fragrance game by getting my nose on this. So I'm going to take these guys' advice. I'm going to trust them and I'm going to buy. I don't have a bunch of people that follow me just for entertainment. Now they're looking for resources. They're looking for a resource. They're looking for these reviews so they can get out there and actually smell good. You know what I'm saying? They're looking for that. So that's another thing to tell the brands, like, let them know, like, yo, my people actually will spend money if I'm real with them about how this fragrance smells.
Yeah. And Ralph has a great point, because at first I was like, Ralph, what are you talking about? Because at first Ralph said this, let me tell you guys, they don't want to work with influencers or content creators anymore. But then he followed up by saying they want to work with communities. And I can honestly say, one of the things, and we've talked about this, you, me, and the fellas, we've talked about as far as just the community that we're building, that we have, of just, being able to one, know what the strengths and weaknesses are among the people, but also the fact that we're here tonight, for example, having a conversation this is a community. And so brands, yes, they are looking for communities because it's easier to get into communities and really be networked within a community than it is just one person who is a megaphone standing in front of a camera just blasting out stuff. Because to your point earlier, if all you're going to do is take the next available big bag, you might take that bag today, and then tomorrow, because somebody else pays you $10 more, you're going to basically crap on my bag because they paid you $10 more. But if I have a community, at the end of the day, we're just going to continue to have a conversation, and I don't have to try and sell you on anything. I'm just giving you my experience. I'm telling you what's available, what's out there, and you figure out what's best for you. But yes, again, at the end of the day, our communities are taking what we're saying and they're purchasing. They're using our input. They're using our influence, as it were. They're using our experience with these fragrances and saying, okay, because I've been watching Kev, because I've been watching Dez, because I've been watching Walt and Ali and VT and Mo and whomever else, I trust them because they're consistent. They consistently tell me they like this. They consistently tell me they don't like this. You know, if Walt tells you that he doesn't like Oud Maracuja, if something comes out smelling like Oud Maracuja and all of a sudden Walt is like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever, you know something's happened, right?
Mhm.
But you know that that's how Walt rocks. So you know if something comes out smelling like Oud Maracuja, you don't have to worry about Walt all of a sudden changing his mind on something.
Nah, you're absolutely right. And to go back with the whole, the desperate nature of things, you take 2 releases, right?
Mhm.
If you have a deal with this company, right? And this company drops their own flanker of that same DNA, right?
Mhm.
A desperate person who works with this company will get an offer from this company and say, hey, we want to pay you to rep our brand, but we want you to say that this smells better than this.
Mhm.
That desperate person is going to do that.
Right.
So now the chance that they gave you based on the fact that they thought you were genuine, but it was out of an act of desperation, you just messed them over because that's where your head is at. It's about fame, fortune, working with the hottest thing instead of just being grounded in just what you believe in. And the potion actually mentioned in a few comments above, Parfums du Ciel. That's another reference point that you can kind of just pull out of your trick bag when you go to these events. Let them know what you've done for other brands.
Mhm.
If you work with a brand and you've represented them well, have either proof that you've actually made that brand successful and you represented that brand as well in a great way, or if you have a close relationship with someone within that brand, have them pretty much give you like a reference on like your media kit. So now you can show these brands and say, hey, look, the representative from this brand can tell you how I represent their brand
Mhm.
and how I perform with them and how I adhere to all the directives and the deliverables and whatever they set forth for the deal that we have together, how I respect what they do and respect their time and all that just pretty much helps, because Parfums du Ciel was always at the tip of my tongue with telling people like, yo, look what we did that. I mean, we did that when we was at FragCon.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Letting these people know like, yo, this is why you should work with us. Look what we did for Parfums du Ciel. Look how we got behind that. And not just because of, it's a Black woman or it's a small indie house that just started. No, because she has great products. She has a great respect for us and what we do. And we have that same respect, and we're going to fight. We're going to push and do everything we possibly can to get everybody to experience a great fragrance house.
Mhm.
And now she's through the roof. And speaking of that, she was also the highlight of the week.
That's serving notice. Yes, sir.
Serving notice. If you haven't got it, I believe she still has stock available. Last time I checked earlier today.
Mhm.
So if you haven't got your hands on this, yeah, I will tell you this. If you thought Groove With You was something, if you thought You'll Remember Me was something, if you thought Valley 24 or any other of the Fruit series was something like, oh my God, this right here is going to blow your mind.
Yeah.
For anybody who smelled it at FragCon, or for those who have it already, that's why I felt like I ain't had to say too much in my promo video.
Exactly.
It's not much need to be said. This is just,
And-
she
and-
outdid herself with this.
You'll even co-sign this. So we were at the college party, and I had my bottle with me because I was like, who knows who we can put onto it, right? And so we're there, and I know TJ was there. TJ Talk Sense was there.
Spray Mojo, True.
Mojo. So we're spraying it for them, and they're like, "Oh my goodness!" And so TJ, who would not really have the opportunity to experience it except for being someplace like that, because unless he comes in and specifically goes to Dallas, he was like, "Oh, oh." So
Yeah.
again, the fact that we're legit about what we're saying, what we're doing, and she has great stuff, right? Just again to bring it back to Parfums du Ciel. If Tara's stuff was not good, I don't care how much we hype it up, it wouldn't be sold out. The fact that folks were getting groove with you and it was sold out was just simply we were the mouthpieces to say, hey, y'all need to check this out. And then once y'all checked it out, now the same thing with serving notice, and the same thing with what is it? I don't want you, I need you.
I don't need you, I want you. Yeah,
I want you. Yeah. So it's like at the end of the day, it's a matter of we're simply telling the story of what's happening and what's out there. And because again, I think our track record speaks for itself. You know that we're not hyping up something just to hype it up. We're not just we're not blowing smoke with another play. We're not doing the whole Outlands and Rayhan Terra play. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to basically tell you this is good, go grab it, or it's okay.
Nah, facts. I mean, if you look at what Raph said, to go back to someone who mentioned about getting started as a small creator, the best advice I can personally give, and I'm not going to deter anybody from doing this, but I sat a few things out until I personally felt like I was ready. I could have went to Sin Explorer last year in December, but I was 1 month in to content creating. See what I'm saying? So I said, you know what? I'm just going to put my head down. Oh, we got this fragrance convention happening in Houston. That's in my backyard. You know what? I'm going to make sure that by the time that kicks off in August, even though that's going to be just me being 8 months into this game, I'm going to make sure when people come to Houston, they know who I am.
Yeah.
And that was me putting my head down and just working, not looking for PR, not looking for deals, working through my own collection, working through the things that I go out and buy every single day, still being a lover of fragrance, but also saying I'm just going to put my head down and work. That's why I walked into ASD early this week with so much confidence, because I know my body of work in 8 months is more than some people's body of work in 8 years.
Yeah.
So I felt that confident in myself. So those type of events are built based off your confidence, but what can boost your confidence is by making sure you have that in your portfolio, have the brands that you work with, and have that repertoire of something that you can present to a brand and say, yeah, you might see these numbers, but look what I've done. Look at the brands that I'm partnered with. So if they trust me, maybe you should too. So there's nothing wrong with being eager, but also at the same time, you do want to feel comfortable enough to say, you know what, I belong here. Because you couldn't tell me shit. I don't care. 8 months in this game, and I was at ASD feeling like I belong right there next to somebody who's been in this game for 10 years. Or somebody with 100,000, 500, or 1 million followers. That was simple and plain.
So, and here's the thing I'll even tell you, because I think one of the things sometimes we get into this comparison mode, right? Of I don't have this many followers. I can honestly say there were people, the only person that I was quote unquote even fanboying off of, if you will, is Cuba. Cuba's the one that I was just like, he's the only one that I'm like, listen, I got to talk to you. You are an inspiration. He's the only one. Were there people that have as many, if not more than he does, that were there? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, it's like, but I know who I am. I know what lane I stay in. I know what I do. And at the end of the day, you're not as good at being me as I am as being me. So Cuba was the only person that I was like, and you helped me take that picture with Cuba. But at the end of the day, other than that, I'll say it this way, and I'm not trying to say this facetiously or anything. I'm not impressed by a lot of folks. When I'm in these spaces, especially because the other circles that I float in and what have you, it's like you doing the same thing I'm doing. You may have just been doing a little longer. You may have just gotten a little more views, what have you. But at the end of the day, you're here just like me, trying to connect just like I am.
The only thing that separates a lot of those people that were there and us is opportunity. That's it. That's it. It's opportunity. So I already have that mindset. Like I'm not impressed but I will respect you for what you've done.
Right.
I'm not groveling at your feet. I'm not chasing behind you. We're not doing all that. I respect you for what you do, but I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just my psyche and how I operate, and it helps me move in those environments. Now, there was a backstory about my introduction to Cuba through Ross TLTG Reviews. So it was like that was a little bit more natural, but I'm gonna be honest with you. If anybody never been to these type of events, there's a lot of industry shit. You're gonna see a lot of stuff that just make you be like, yeah, I'm gonna walk the other way real quick. You know what I'm saying? It can get kind of a circus. You feel me? So it was one of those things to where it's like you just gotta know who you are. Don't fall victim just because you're in that type of environment. You don't have to act like everyone else. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing. Just be yourself. Brands are tired of seeing the same person represent their brand over and over. They want different people. They want originality. They want authenticity. That's what they want. Be yourself. Nobody in this world is you other than you. So just lean into that. No matter what you may see, what you may be influenced by, just be yourself. Because at the end of the day, if something doesn't work out, you can still look yourself in the mirror and just say, all right, I'm me, and I'm not changing for nobody else or going to be somebody else just to get an opportunity.
Right. Because, I mean, here's the thing. At the end of the day, let's just be honest. There are some people that rock with you more than they rock with me, and some people rock with me more than they rock with you.
Right.
And if I'm trying to be like you, then the people that rock with you are going to be like, why he being fake? The people that rock with me is like, why is Kevin changing on us? So at the end of the day, if you are just who you are, your audience that you're designed for and that you resonate with, you're going to find them. They're going to rock with you, right? And yes, you can continue to help other people. Walt, shut up.
Walt, don't come in here starting shit tonight, man.
Okay.
Just go ahead on, man.
So, I mean, it was great. Now let's talk about the party.
Oh shit. Yeah.
We did. Cot Lodge did throw a party. So Walt had not Walt, but Cot Lodge had the party at the art museum. First of all, it was a bear to get to. Because
what, for you to get there? Well, you drove.
I drove.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. First mistake. Well, Kev, we ain't driving no more, bro. If you drive into Vegas, we just gonna Uber everywhere, bro. It makes it a whole lot easier, man. I'm telling you.
I get that. I get that. But I'm like, listen, I want to be a rollout on a rollout. I don't want to have to pay the exorbitant rates when things go up as far as like high traffic times, whatever. I'm like, I pay for parking. I pay one fee for parking. I get in and out when I want to go out. But it was just a matter of the directions inside the hotel where I parked over to the art museum was a little challenging. But once we got in there, it was because I think I texted you. I was like, hey, have your phone ready, because it was a visual experience, right? It was designed around this fragrance right here. It was designed around their new one, Sun, right? So they had this, and they had the one for ladies. They had Muse there. And so it was this visual experience to kind of take you through the art museum, which is kind of this interactive type art museum. So you had like a mirror room, you had some other rooms as far as like an ocean or beach room. So it was pretty cool. But to kind of speak to the point as far as how much money these brands have and how much at the end of the day, it's like they are so all throughout walking through.
Kailash got a bag, boy.
Listen, as you're walking through, there are bottles just all over the place. Just bottle after bottle after bottle. And so we got to this one place where it was like a holding place where we were all like converged. We were all, drinking the mocktails, eating the little finger food they had, what have you. And bottles are just all over this little place, on the tables, sitting on chairs, everything. By the end of the time that we were in there, all those bottles were gone. All of them.
Hey, man.
No.
Hey, I'm leaving here with something. I'm leaving here with, first of all right, it's a party and you're serving mocktails. I get it. I get the tradition. I get the religion. I respect it. But yeah, Cass was on edge, man. Cass, like, you got all these bottles of this exclusive release. They were everywhere, man. Like, you had them in boxes. You had them out just by themselves. They sitting on your table. You just looking like, I mean, what I'm supposed to, I don't know. Not gonna say how those bottles disappeared, but you know what I'm saying, when it was all said and done, they actually were giving away bottles
Yes.
at the end of the event. So yeah, I don't think anybody who secured a bottle beforehand did anything wrong. It was by design. They wanted everyone to have those bottles, obviously.
Yeah.
But that was a party, bro.
Mhm.
That was a lot. That was a lot. If you've never been to the art museum in Vegas, it's already designed for like just this visual experience. But they had different rooms, like you said, the beach rooms, they had mirror rooms, and if you didn't have somebody guiding you, you were not getting out of there.
Right.
Like you was gonna get lost easily.
We literally had to have somebody kind of help us and show us how to get out and get to where the bottles were and get back out again. So yeah.
I mean, it was dope. They even had an option to where you can actually get the bottles engraved. But we wasn't trying to wait that long. But they actually had an engraving station. Now, Kotlot showed up and showed out, and like I said, that was really dope. The food, I didn't get a chance to eat. Did you eat anything?
I didn't get a chance to eat. No.
Yeah, I heard the food was just
folks was raving about the lamb chops.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I got a picture. This was actually right after. Let me show it real quick. But it was hilarious. So this is me and Noel, but this is right after he was like, I gotta clean my face real quick, bro. I got lamb chops all over the place. Like he wasn't playing. He was gonna get his protein intake. Like he told me, he was like, yo, the food. He's like, this is some of the best food I ever had. And I was like, but by that time, like I said, we was trying to figure out a way. I was trying to actually get to Barara's party. And like I said, Uber driver and life was life, and it was not letting me be great. So I couldn't make it to that one. But I heard that one was a dope event too, because Bahara actually has a new drop called Green Lantern, which is I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a better Creed Wild Vetiver. Did you make it to the booth?
No, I didn't make it to their booth.
They were kind of on the backside, like pretty much touching elbows with like all the rest of the ASD.
I think they were about like the Korean section or whatever.
Yeah, they was like clothing and stuff like that. But Green Lantern, when that drops, yeah, I hope nobody has either spent that money yet or plan on spending that money for Creed Wild Vetiver, because that Green Lantern from Barara is just shutting that down.
Okay. Yeah, no,
that was fire.
Yeah, but no, that the party was fire. That party was solid. Trying to think what else. The next day, that Wednesday, again, just making it around to all of the brands that we can make it around to. Trying to think who else was there. Oh yeah, did you get the picture I sent you? Because I did take a video for you of you having your conversation with what's his name, Noel. I was just so you could kind of capture that as far as additional footage, because I know that's your guy.
Was that Noel or when Need?
No, I got you two. I got you one with Neve and I got you one with Noel.
I don't think you just I didn't get the one with Noel.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, like everybody was cool. I mean, the one thing I can say is that your bigger creators, the people that we see every day, the people that are known to be on social media when it comes to reviewing fragrances early. I don't think, like I said, I don't think it was a bad experience for anybody. It seemed like everybody was just in a good space. Now, I'm gonna credit a lot of that to FragCon. I'm telling you, like FragCon just, I believe personally, just refreshed a lot of people. It took away that edge that people was getting a little upset with the drama and everything that was going on, and always upset about something and bitching and complaining. That really, I seen a lot of people that was just happy. Like people were just happy. They were just cool. Like I said, the bigger creators were just cool and welcoming. Redolescence, great dude. Great guy. Like I said, Noel, Need, Kuba, of course, Daniel Renee, everybody was just like, just really, really vibing out. Overspray Jay. Let me shout out Jay, because Jay came in there. Jay came in there with that energy, and good dude, man. Like I said, nobody, I felt like a lot of people, Curly, shout out to Curly. I got to speak with her for a little bit. It seemed like everybody was in a good space. You know,
Yeah.
it was no issues.
Yeah. And even like some of the brands that we had connected with from that were at FragCon to just reconnect again, kind of again circle back around. For example, like Game of Spades with Ronaldo, it's just good to again touch base with him again. And because now we're making those events because we're there, they're like, oh, hey, it's good to see you again, because now it's like another way of staying in front of brands. They know that you're serious about this. They know that you're there, that if they see you one thing, and it's not saying you got to show up to everything, right? But it is saying that if this is a space that you want to move forward in, then there are some things that you just might need to avail yourself to be, again, not everything, but if you just choose one trip a year, that this is your trip, then make that your thing, that every year you're going to just keep doing that, because again, that's kind of how you in this space become a little more recognizable aside from just doing content.
Yeah, we call it touching grass. I
Mhm.
mean, you got to get from behind the camera, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just, like I said, it's a dope experience. I mean, you honestly, you know, you'll get the eye opening of how the business works.
Yes.
You know, you start seeing why things are the way they are, and you know, things of that nature. But I think there was it was love showed to everybody. You know,
Yeah.
like I said, we had a lot of people in the building that, I mean, was either just getting off the ground. The guy that was with us, I can't remember his name. He had the camera the whole time.
George. Yeah.
George. But I remember we was having a conversation with him, you know, about, look, even if you got to start just, you know, you just got to press record. And if you're not trying to get on camera just yet, talk about that bottle, hold it up in front of you, you know, gradually get yourself to that point to where it's like, if you camera shy or don't want to be on the camera, it'll eventually get to that. But start getting content out, start being consistent, start being just not afraid to just press record and just keep it moving.
Yeah. Yeah. So all in all, I think it was great. I know we talked about, you had the Hawass private line. I'm trying to think what else. Just some other things. I mean, I connected with Orientica. So they gifted me this, and I'll have a review on this. This is Monarch, which is basically just like a blue talismanic straight type of DNA. Solid, right?
Yeah, I fell in love with two over there. I fell in love with Crown, and I fell in love with Malibu Musk. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I already have a few. Pistachio Noir is my favorite one, but that was another connection. Why? Because the lady that handles all their marketing and PR was not there the first day. So I made sure I double back and kind of look for her, and then, you know, double back again, because I think she had stepped away. And then once I met her, I walked straight up to her. You got to just walk up to these people. They there for a reason. Like I said, you got certain people within these brands that are just dedicated to dealing with PR and marketing.
Right.
They're there. They're there for a reason. It's their only job.
Yep.
So like they there. You just got to pretty much be confident enough in yourself to just talk to these people and just let them know who you are, what you're about, and how you can help further grow their brand.
Yes.
And everything else will fall into place.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, literally, and the number of numbers, and it's not just a. I didn't talk to Ray. I talked to the actual lady who's in charge of that. So I actually have her number. So, and that's the thing is that because I was there, and back to your point, Des, it's not just an email or DM now. Now I actually have phone numbers. I have actual direct emails that I can send to. And I've had some people that are like, listen, just don't. I had one person tell me, don't text me, call me. If you need something, call me.
Yeah.
So things like that, it's like, okay, now, you know, and so I've texted a few back already and was like, hey, I got you locked in, what have you. Because at the end of the day, now they've put a name with the face. There are some that are like, I've seen that name before. They've seen SmellGoodz. SmellGoodz is a name that you're going to see, right? But now it's like, I don't just see it when I'm scrolling on Instagram or scrolling on Facebook. Now it's like, oh, we've had the conversation with Kevin. We know who Kevin is. And so now I've got numbers locked in. I've got email addresses locked in. I've got other things locked in, because at the end of the day, now I've put a name with the face and we're building relationship.
In fact, that's all. I mean, that's it's not about PR. It's not about bottles. It's not about commission. It's about relationships. This is a who you know business.
Yes.
But you have to be willing to have that mindset that it's more than just a bottle. Because at the end of the day, this is business, and businesses are based on relationships. You have to be able to maneuver in those spaces knowing that it's relationship based. It's not about just a bottle, things like that. Yeah, grabbing exclusive stuff is cool. You know what I'm saying? Like that's fine. But at the end of the day, this is still work. You know what I'm saying? I still got to talk about this. I still got to, let people know my thoughts on it. So it wasn't just like I was able to just bring this home and just put this up and say, oh yeah, I got that bottle, I get to wear it. Nah, there's some work behind it. But it's the relationships you build, and relationships breed better opportunities. Like that's pretty much what it is. You'll start off at that PR stage, maybe just get gifted one bottle. But if you do things consistently and do it the right way, who knows where that's going to end up? You know what I'm saying? And that's when you want to get that phone call or that email and say, hey, we're having a launch party in Miami. We want to invite you. We want to take care of all your expenses, all this stuff. That's when it starts to become beneficial. You know what I'm saying? When they say, hey, we're going to give you this particular percentage off an affiliate link code and things like that, or that's when it starts making sense. But it also starts with them having to trust you. They got to trust you with their baby. In the words of our guy, Walt, they got to trust you.
Yeah.
They got to trust you.
As many bottles as was given out, if there's only 3 videos that are done on those bottles, then those 3 videos are going to be the people that they're going to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Because it was with the number of bottles that were there should be videos on just flooding it, right? But we also know just how people are sometimes. People are going to take the bottles, they're going to go home, they're going to flex with just a picture on their stories, and then you'll never see that bottle again except in the background somewhere, right? But if you're, my approach is I'm looking at all of this and I'm like, I got home on yesterday and I was like, I got a lot of work to do. I got some things I still got to get out from my previous one, and now I had stuff sitting, that came in while I was gone, and now I'm looking at all this stuff. I'm like, all this stuff has got to be talked about. Because at the end of the day, they trusted me enough to give me a bottle, but I want to build that relationship because this is great for a flex for right now, but I'm not just trying to be a one and done with this. I want more of a connection. I want more of a relationship. I want more with these brands, and that comes from, again, recognizing that, as we've said, they've given us their child. How am I going to handle their child? How am I going to handle their product? Am I going to sit up here and crap on it and just throw it away? Or am I going to sit up here and be like, you know what? Here's what even if it's something I don't like, let's just be honest. Even if it's something I don't like, there's somebody that it's a fit for. And so helping somebody who this might be a fit for, helping them find it.
No, facts. And I mean, you're not going to like everything that comes out. You're not supposed to.
No.
And if you do, you got to reevaluate what you're doing this for. Because I know there's a bunch of, but I will also give the brand the opportunity to say, hey, do you want me to talk about this? You feel me? If you do, I got you. I'm not going to hurt you, but just know I'm not going to be a fan of it.
Right.
But that's just like with any fragrance, man. What doesn't work for you may be the best smelling thing to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So I'll never tell somebody, do not go buy this. Don't go pick this up. Because what? That's doing the brand a disservice. Because I look at it like this. This takes time. Somebody put their mind, time, thought process into creating this bottle, to creating the juice inside of this bottle, to creating the packaging that goes in here. So who am I in 3 minutes to just shit all over a lot of people's hard work just because I don't like something? I just don't like it. That doesn't mean it's not a great smelling fragrance. It's just not a great smelling fragrance to me.
Right.
But this is subjective. So get your nose on it. And if you love it, I'm glad you found something you love. Because I got plenty of things that I probably love that a lot of people just like, yeah, Des, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
And being comfortable, being confident with that, and just like, listen, again, I don't have to tear something down to make myself feel any kind of way. At the end of the day, if it's not for me, it's not for me. But there is somebody that it's for, right? Yeah, definitely.
I got a YouTube video coming out next week on this. But if you look at this, a watch release, Nautilus. Not the biggest fan. I'm not the biggest fan. But I know people who love this and love the DNA. Now, the OG of this, which is Sir Joss 40 knots, I'm a fan of. What they did with this, just not a fan of. I believe Yamaleo's version is better than Hawasa's version. But this still will be a hit because some people will love it. You know, it has something in it in the opening that I'm just not a fan. Well, throughout the entirety of the fragrance, but it's just not my thing.
Right.
But here's also a thing. This might actually grow on me. Who knows? So I'm always going to keep an open mind because there's a bunch of fragrances that I really came back to after a while. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just how it works.
Your nose maturing, your nose maturing, right? I even talk about there's a fragrance from Tom Ford. That first time I smelled it, I was in the Macy's or Dillard's, and even the person that was the salesman was like, yeah, he didn't like it either. But now I've gone back to it. I'm like, okay, I get this now. It's not something that I'm necessarily racing to buy, but it is something that I can definitely appreciate because also, you know, if we think about it, I equate it this way, is that when I was a kid, I didn't like Brussels sprouts. I hated Brussels sprouts. But now if I'm at a nice restaurant and they have some nice charred Brussels sprouts, I'm good with those jokers, right? So your palate will change, your palate will shift. And at the end of the day, even how you approach fragrances, recognizing that it may not be for you now, but it could be something that it could be for you in, you know, a few years, whatever.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, everything was created for a reason. Somebody had to like it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to these bigger brands.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure somebody is not sitting over at Rasasi making a fragrance and just putting it out and not letting people smell it, test it, figure out what they're doing, especially when it comes to the designer space when you got these big multi-million-dollar companies. Some people like this. There's a reason why this got stamped to say, okay, we're going to release it. You know, so like I said, who am I to shit on something just because I'm not a fan of it, you know? But at the end of the day, I let these brands know that you're going to get my honesty. You're going to get my, I don't need to say this smells good. I'm sorry. Like you're not paying me enough. Plus I respect the people that follow me for my honest take. I'm not going to do that to them because my thing is this. If I know something is absolutely just awful to my nose, and I'm saying it's the best thing that ever came out, this is my best pickup of the year, whatever the case may be, that's going to influence a lot of people to go run and go buy that fragrance. Now, they done spent their hard-earned money on the fragrance. They get it. They smell it. They're like, oh, Dez, I don't know, man. I don't know. This is horrible. Me knowing that I felt the same way, but I encourage you to go buy that.
Right.
Man, I don't want to have that feeling.
No.
Because I wouldn't want that shit done to me. You got to realize, I didn't just wake up one day and say, man, I'm going to start a fragrance collection and be a content creator.
Right.
I tell people I had a 300 bottle collection before I came into this space. And it was all based off a lot of blind buys of people reviews and things like that. And yeah, you start figuring out who you can trust in this space and who you can actually listen to and who your nose aligned with. But I would have felt pissed off if I went ran and bought something because somebody said how good it smelled. And then I done spent my money on it. And I'm like, yo, this is trash.
Right.
You know, so
yeah. I mean, because to your point, as far as even just the amount of effort that goes into fragrances, right? This one right here, we hear the story. So the story behind this one is that they say it took them 4 years and over 2,000 tries to get this the way that they wanted to get it. So they put a lot of effort into this. And even there's still some people that are like, well, 4 years was not long enough because they felt that it was that it was too quick, that this, you know, shouldn't have taken 4 years, what have you. But it's still a good fragrance, right? So it's a matter of each brand is putting forth effort into it. And I'm not going to crap on their effort. If it's just not for me, it's just not for me, right? Now, if the brand is consistently not for me, then the brand is consistently not for me. And it doesn't, I'm not even trying to chase down anything from them at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, because brands are going to have their DNAs, right? So you're going to run into some situations to where if you don't like one or two fragrances, you're probably not going to like what they're doing over there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's understandable. But like I said, it's also one of the things to where we say it all the time. It's really just subjective. It's up to you. You know, like I tell people, man, get your nose on something, like for real. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you how I feel.
Correct.
That's it. Also, we skimmed over it earlier, but Luis over there at LR Lux with King of Kings. I don't know when it's gonna. I don't know when this is gonna drop. First of all, this is what you're getting from King of Kings. I mean,
you got chapter 1. Okay.
Yeah. But yo, he has a 1 million black.
Yes.
Man.
Yes. Yes.
Check Hardbody's page, man. Hardbody got a video up of him smelling that. And man, yo, all I can tell y'all, man, King of Kings, y'all gotta lock in with. If y'all haven't locked in with him yet, y'all gotta lock in with him. But
yeah, Luis is working magic over there.
Yeah, he did. But this is another one I had to grab. VT ran it up, Walt ran it up. They all talked about him. The Carolinas, they got their fingers all over King of Kings out there. So this is my first opportunity to actually experience the King of Kings in its entirety in the collection. But this private this private blend chapter 1 is, this is fire. This is fire. This is dope. Where my strips at?
Yeah, because I ended up getting the Royal Noir, which is basically like their Lafayette Street. And when I tell you, first of all, Lafayette Street is like one of those DNAs that I absolutely love.
It's my GOAT DNA.
Yeah, it's one of those that you need that in your collection.
Kev, you should have got this one. Cool.
Is that Summer Hammer one?
Yeah, a little bit, man. Imagine, for those who don't know, from Lorenzo Pizzaglia's Summer Hammer, but Rayhan Tropical Vibe, imagine a sexier version of that. Like, imagine a nighttime sexy version of like Summer Hammer or Tropical Vibe. Oh, this is fire. This is fire. Yeah. King of Kings Private Blend Chapter 1 is the name. I think somebody just said in the comments. Yeah. I'm gonna get a review on this soon, bro. This is dope. But that's another thing, like going to these conventions and just events like this, it gives you, from a fragrance lover standpoint, the opportunity to really tap into brands in its entirety. Because there was a few from Canessa that I had missed that I was happy to get my nose on. I believe it was Omo, but I think it was Omo.
Yeah,
Womo Black, or it's a Womo something. It's not Womo. There's another version to it.
Okay.
Fire. So
and I may be I'm kind of working this through, but I may be offering Canesa pretty soon on the store. They're probably
that's dope. Congratulations, fam.
I will be, because they're open.
Hey, y'all, Kev was out there working. He was sweating, but he was working.
Listen, I sweat. That's what I do.
Kev,
but I get the job done. So
Kev, the AC was on 60 in that, bro.
Listen, again. Now, my goal is, and hear me, my goal is to get down some more by the time we get to Scent Explorer. And then by the time,
and that's gonna look worse because now you're gonna be a skinny dude sweating all over the place.
But here's the thing. I may not, I've been sweating all the time. So yes. The potion, I had a towel, and Des can tell you, I had my towel. I was working my towel.
He got his Unk towel with him. His Unk towel was out. I had mine too. I ain't gonna lie, I had mine in the back pocket. But that was the thing. I can tell you what, now, we just went to Vegas 2 weeks ago. You was in Houston. Seen that difference?
Yes.
Vegas is dry heat. It's like burning heat.
Yes.
Houston was on a whole different sweat level. That's a whole that's different. Yeah. That's different.
And yes, I was still sweating, but my sweating was different than it was in Vegas.
Yeah. Your sweating was more controlled in Vegas.
Yes.
It was a whole lot more control.
Because again, I live in Phoenix, and so yes, I still will do that.
You can relate to it. Yeah. That was, but look, I tell you, when we walked outside, that sun started stinging.
Yeah.
That sun started stinging. What tripped me out, were you able to see the sphere from where you was at?
Yes.
Okay. So that little shit woke me up. I think it was Wednesday morning with that damn smiley face on that sphere, man. Trippy as shit ever. I just because my blinds was like kind of halfway open, man, and I looked over and the thing was just looking at me blinking, and I'm like, yeah, I can't do this drunk, like,
Okay.
nah. But all in all, man, I like I said, back-to-back events, 2 weeks apart. It was a lot. But man, we in that season because it ain't over, bro.
No,
it ain't over.
Because Beauty World, I think, is coming up. We're not making Beauty World this year, but Beauty World is a goal for next year. Just because, as Ralph is saying, that's 2 to 3 times what we saw at ASD. So
yeah,
I'm be up for that and down for that. But that'll a little planning. But
I look at Beauty World as something that really has to be planned.
Yes.
FragCon, like I said, I'm blessed that it was here, but I just look at a trip like that really has to be planned because Beauty World, I believe, is what, 3 days, right?
I think so, but it takes you to get there anyway. So
yeah, you're talking about maybe 2 days prior and 2 days after before you got to either get back to work. So that requires some time off,
right?
You know, doing something like that. So it's one of those things to where I personally won't make it this year just because of all the things that we've already done and that I still have lined up going into September, going in October. I'm interested in Fumed in Atlanta in October now. So that's on my radar to see if I can push that. I got something with City Rhythm coming up. I have, we all have Sin Explorer. That in its own is big enough to where it's like we got to make sure everything is planned properly for that. So yeah, it's one of those things to where it's like, you may not be able to make everything, but there's some things for you to actually make, to get into these spaces, to get into these rooms, and to be able to get next to these people that can put you in a position that you want to be in, involving their brand. Because like I said, you got to think about from a brand's standpoint, they probably get thousands of DMs a day. They probably get thousands of emails. Somebody passed along a PR email to somebody else, so now they're getting some random email from somebody that they don't know. And yeah, sometimes they may tap in, sometimes they don't. But like I said, that face-to-face interaction, them actually meeting the person that would represent their brand, that's the best course of action you can ask for.
Yep. And again, even after that, because just having that one interaction is not the end of it. Like you said earlier, it's not. So it is that follow-up. It is that follow-through. And it is that thing of just simply saying, hey, we met here. They remind you of who I am, because at the end of the day, one of the things, just from their perspective, they are meeting a lot of people. And while they're being personable and they're trying to relate and connect with everyone, if you think about from their perspective, there's a lot of people that they've given cards to, what have you. But now it's a question of, how do I still, again, stand out? Because I stood out in front of you, but now I need to remind you, now that the euphoria of that day is over, of that the event is over, how do I remind you of who I am? And then we keep going. So absolutely.
Yeah, Ralph, that's the plan. That's the plan. We're trying to go to Dubai deep next year, bro. Like we're trying to we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
Yeah.
4 live crew featuring Kev will definitely be in the building without a doubt. But yeah, I mean, and that's one of the beautiful things about it. Like, like Raph alluded to earlier, it's the community that the brands want to tap into. When we do things like this live, it shows community, it shows camaraderie. What surprised me the most when I got into this space, I looked at all like the bigger creators that are like up there, and I'm like, I see the little, not little, but I see the brand trips that they take, and I'm like, oh snap, they must really rock with each other. Because everybody is concerned about being the top dog. So they're fighting with each other.
Right.
I can personally say from Vegas, I now have a lot more knowledge. There's some people that don't rock with other people, and they all they all in the same space doing the same thing, those same big names, but they really don't rock with each other.
And
so I think it's
that palpable tension sometimes, where it's like they're friendly in person, but you can tell it's just like, yeah, I don't rock with you.
Nah, for real. And it's like, I think it's a breath of fresh air for the brands to see people rocking with each other, going to booths together, getting content off together, making a scene in a good way, bringing more attention to their booth. I mean, we did it in Vegas. I mean, it wasn't even with the boys. It was just everybody who had met at FragCon, you know, shout out to, you know, to Frank, like I said, Truth, Joe. It was just so many people that when we found ourselves around something that we like, we just all started talking about it and just, you know, going back and forth. And I think outside looking in, the brands are looking and like, okay, we like to see this, because we normally see this big person and then the other big person is way over here. Then the other big person is way over there. It's like they're not allowed. They're like opposite magnets. They can't just be around each other. So that was dope.
Yeah. Yeah, Ralph, we're gonna plan that out, because yeah, Dubai is definitely on the table for next year is the plan. So yes, sir.
I'm looking at this. For me, one for lifetime is F9 9 p.m. Rebel. For compliments, because it's a monster. Is there anything better than F9 9 p.m. Rebel? Suggest me, please. Well, it seems like if that's your go-to and it gets your compliments, I wouldn't try to reinvent the wheel. My personal favorite in the 9 p.m. line is 9 p.m. Night Out. I think it's the most unique. It's the most, if you don't have it, you talking about compliments, 9 p.m. Night Out to get it to you. That dragon fruit that's in there is a compliment magnet. Yeah, I know you was asking the question, brother. I ain't want to make sure I know. Yeah, Night Out. Night Out. Yeah, Night Out is one of them ones. If you like 9 p.m.'s DNA and what they're doing, I think Walt said it all the time, man. When you find a house or a brand, stay with it for a while. Like, start tapping into what they're doing, because you might, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might be, not saying that you're going to just stay with that one brand, but, you know, explore what they're doing, because they have DNAs that they actually, you know, focus on. So just answer your question, brother.
Yeah. And then this question here with the hype Mickey Nose dropping Monday night. What's the best one? So I personally didn't smell any of them at FragCon. I was interested more in the things that were unique to FragCon, or that I would not have had the opportunity to put nose on and that I'd never heard of. So for me, I couldn't tell you about Mickey Nose, in all honesty.
Yeah. The only brand that outside of niche and indie niche, that I actually was putting my nose on, I think was Boo Jeremy. That's it. And that took me down the road, because Boo Jeremy got some fire. Like, they cooking and cutting up. But not only that, I mean, FragCon, hell, that corner on that last row, yo, it was gridlock. Everybody was at the Mykonos table. So it's like, as creators who had been there since 10 a.m., you know, doing interviews and getting content, once everybody started coming in, yeah, I just honestly didn't want to deal with the stress at the table. Now, I did smell a few things over at ASD. I think I smelled, they have so many of them. It was a smaller pink bottle, but I think it was their Symphony dupe or something like that. And somebody was like, no, this is Symphony. So there was a few I smelled. They're one of the brands that it's like, I'll get to it as I come across. But right now, I'm enjoying this new indie niche space.
Yeah.
And just this new discovery space. You know, there's so many new houses out there, man, that I know a lot of us are going to be bringing to everyone's attention. But there's so much heat that's out there that so many people don't know about. So,
JP, you don't. So for things like ASD, you don't have to be invited. You can just register and go. ASD, you can just get a media pass and just show up, basically. And the media pass is free. Now, some brands may invite people out and invite them to like their parties and events, but at the end of the day, to even just kind of get your foot in the door and make those introductions, just show up. Just show up to FragCon. Just, you know, purchase a ticket to FragCon when it's around next year. Purchase a ticket to Scent Explore this year. ASD is free if you register before the event. So just show up. Just, you know, and again, like, I know you're coming in a little later, but at the end of the day, the only competition really is yourself, because you have a unique style that brands are going to be looking for. So just show up. That's the main thing I would tell anybody. Just like we told folks, just turn the camera on and start recording. Just get started. Just do what you got to do and trust the process, right? If you are in those spaces and have conversations with the brands, that's putting you ahead of the other 10,000 creators that are just sitting at home sending emails and DMs.
Facts. The one right under that, Andrew, how can I get my nose on like PDC or Chris Collins? Well, Chris Collins is in Sephora, selective Sephoras. But if you do a research and just check. If you go to Sephora online and then start looking at stores as far as like in your area, you should be able to see what store has Chris Collins fragrances. As far as Parfums du Ciel, the best way I would say is take a look at the website. Take a look at the website. Take a look at the videos on social media. Start seeing some of the things that may capture your attention, and just order up a 10 mil. She will be having discovery sets coming soon, so I know that's going to be a game changer. That's going to be real soon. She's going to have 2 different discovery sets, and yeah, I seen the lineup in them. Yeah. Y'all set. Y'all set. Y'all are definitely
Collins has a discovery set. And then sometimes you can find, because I have a couple of his fragrances that I have decants of. And you might be able to find decants that you can purchase and at least, sample before you make that full purchase as far as a full bottle.
Hey, y'all hit up Ali, because Ali just said check out his whole line, but Ali got a code. So y'all make sure y'all hit up I got Ali on IG if you're looking for a code for Chris Collins, because if y'all don't know anything about Ali, he's the reason why a lot of people in this space, especially our group of people, know really about Chris Collins. He's the Chris Collins guru. So yeah, y'all go flood Ali's inbox and ask him all questions about Chris Collins. Anything you want to know, my man gonna have the answer for you. The official breakdown, he got you. You'll think he created the shit in the lab himself. Trust me, he knows. Ali knows everything Chris Collins. But now, that's another thing about FragCon. You attended FragCon. I think everybody, who got some bags and stuff, like, but not just that, they had samples everywhere. This is why you attend certain events like that, because you can get these samples and everything. I'm waiting for one of you guys. Look, I'm gonna tell you, I want to, because I smelled it and I want to support Chris, but damn, that price tag kind of high. That bottle $340.
Mm-hmm.
That bottle $340. That Welton and Chris Collins collab, it smells good, but that price tag, yeah. I think you smelled it right there with me, huh, Kev?
Yeah, I sure did. I did.
And I put that bottle right down,
right there where it was. And
what else?
And those weren't lying around like they were at the other party. They weren't just lying around for people to take. No, that was the one bottle that it was just there, and everybody was keeping an eye on that one.
Yeah, that bottle got brought out and sat like right there where Chris was at. Like that. Yes. That was different. What else we got? Let's see. Anything else out of ASD before we go into another subject?
Yeah, I mean, well, just there was a smaller brand there that I'll just give a little. Oh, Anfar. Did you get a chance to smell Anfar's newest ones?
Yeah, I posted a picture on my story. Arctic and Midnight Intense. Oh, Eclipse. Eclipse. Yeah. The Eclipse is the darker blue bottle, right?
Yeah, because Intense, this is an older one that I've got. But the Eclipse, that DNA, but just like a little darker, and that was it Arctic, was it?
Arctic.
Yeah, that one's just nice, fresh, crisp, cool.
It has that it has like, it's like if you took Midnight Frost and mix it with the OG Wrist Freeze. If you mix it with that, I think that's what you get out of Frost. Both are dope. And they
Joe's saying willing to buy a Ventus at 500. Why not this one? I'm sure there are people that are doing it, but I'm just saying after that weekend, I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
I'm gonna be honest with you. To answer that question, are people still buying the Ventus at 500?
People on this side of the fragrance community, because we're always looking for the discount, right? We either
looking for the discount, or we gonna say, you know what, I'm cool
with a 10 ml.
Nope, I'm cool with this.
Yeah,
I'll be cool with that.
True,
I'll be cool with that. So it's like, I think we in a space right now, we got to start really thinking about the fact of like, yo, is a $500 fragrance worth a $500 price tag?
But to Ralph's point here, there are still people that are buying it at.
Yeah. No. Facts. I know that there's people that are really dedicated to that scent profile. That, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. But to the average person who has a big fragrance collection, I know a lot of people who have still have an OG bottle that's kind of getting low, who said they wouldn't repurchase that if it costs that price, just because they know what's available out there or just different alternatives to it. But yeah, I know people, especially with the wholesalers here in Houston, like our guy Sajid, he got a dedicated customer that he has to get Creed Aventus for, because that's just his DNA, and he's going to buy it. He doesn't want to dupe. He doesn't want an alternative. He don't want nothing. He wants that bottle. He wants that bottle. So now, Raph, I feel you. I know there's people still buying it. I'm just saying, I don't think there's people seeking it out for that price anymore. That's more so what I meant. I know there's people that actually that are looking to spend a little bit less for it.
Yeah, and to Beerson's point, I think that's because I think that's what we have to kind of realize and recognize, is that as we're in the community, we know that there's lots of things out there, right? And so yeah, we're looking for the sources, we're looking for the plugs. I'm that part of me, as far as even transitioning to my business and my store, is part of it is I can use my resources and contacts now to get the things I need for content, but also resell and get testers and stuff like that. And so, yeah, if I find a source that can get me Creed for a better price, then I'll take that. But as far as people that are outside of this community or outside of this space in the community, there are people that are still walking into Macy's, Dillard's, Neiman's, what have you, paying full retail price, and they're doing that happily.
Yeah, I mean, there's the thing of what I tell people is that there's some fragrances, the price is the price. A Chris Collins price tag is a Chris Collins price tag. You're not going to find nothing. That's a price tag. So wherever it's available, there you're picking it up. You know what I'm saying? So that Supras, there's brands that the price is the price. But when you start getting into like that more commercial niche, oh yeah, I mean you find a discounter. I mean easily. Or I guess, Raph, when I go pick my water up tomorrow, I'll go check. I'll see what that price talking about. But like I said, I mean, there's so many. I mean, there's so many alternatives to anything. You just got it. It's your personal preference. I mean, it's your personal preference. I personally know that I had a bottle of Creed Aventus before I knew what Creed Aventus was. Meaning that this is me years and years ago in Louisiana, decided to go to Saks, buy a bottle of Creed, because I'm like, oh, you got to spend a lot of money to smell good. So if I need something that smells really good, I got to go spend this money. So I went through that bottle because I sprayed it like water. I wasn't thinking, you know what I'm saying? But that's me with all my fragrances. Like I spray. These shits are meant to be sprayed. They're not meant to be held on to and whatever the case may be. But you feel me? It's just like, it is what it is at that point. But I went through a lot of higher end niche fragrances just because, like Bond No. 9. Dude, when I got Bond Centerpiece, I went crazy. I didn't care that it was a high end designer. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. And that's the other thing, even to Ross' point, is that some folks are strict with their price tag, right? Some folks just are like, this is what it's going to sell for. The price is the price is the price. And so there are some things that you're not going to find like on discounters. Like, for example, there's a store here that sells Louis Vuitton, right? It's one of those stores in the mall. They sell Louis Vuitton for nearly half price. And I'm saying that ain't legit. I can tell you that's not legit. Because
I was about to ask you, like, is that legit?
Like, it can't be legit, because I know
it can't be.
We know Louis Vuitton is strict with their product.
Yeah, you can't find Louis Vuitton on this. That's why I almost bought a bottle while I was in Cancun, because I'm like, this is the best price that I can find, because you can't get it. There's no discount. The price is the price, just like Raph said, it's the price, So at the end of the day, it's just, I tell people like this, when it comes to OGs and dupes, and I'm not even gonna get heavily into this debate, but I will speak this. If you give me a fragrance that's an OG with a $400 price tag, right? Then you give me a dupe fragrance that's a $50 price tag. I don't do percentages. Y'all don't hear me talking about percentages in my reviews, nothing like that, because I'm not a damn chemist. I'm not breaking this down. I ain't got the numbers. So for me to tell you that something is 85%, how the hell I know? So I ain't got time for all that.
That's subjective as it is, right?
Yeah, I ain't about to do all that. But what I will say this, if you are thinking percentages and this dupe fragrance is 90% of what that OG is, it's up to you to justify if that $350 price difference is worth you getting the 10% that you're missing.
Right.
Now, I'm a product of Louisiana public schools. You give me a 90, I'm comfortable with that. If you tell me I got to do extra credit, stay after class, do a week's worth of work just to get another 10%, I'm going to just take my 90 and go about my business. I'm happy and I'm satisfied, especially if it's going to cost that much. So like I said, you just have to look at, it's up to you if you feel like that 10% is worth another $350. You know what I'm saying? Or are you cool with that 90 or that 95? You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it when it comes to certain things. Now, keep it a buck. I have smelled some inspired by fragrances that made me want to go tap into where that original DNA came from. Yes. And when I smelled it, I smelled the difference. I smelled the quality. And that made me say, you know what? I want this.
Yep.
So don't get it twisted. A lot of my niche buys and OG buys has either come from love at first sniff or just me after smelling a dupe saying that I want to go smell the OG just to see how it not only compares, but where did that DNA come from? And then, of course, I find myself at times I've smelled it and I'm like, yo, I got to have the original.
That's exactly with African leather for me. I'll say in a heartbeat, I hate the name. And every time I talk about this one, I'll tell you I hate the name. But Afro leather from Maison Alhambra put me on to African leather from Mimo Paris.
That shit sound like a blaxploitation film.
Exactly. I hate that name, but it does have a place as far as it got me into the space of African leather. And I absolutely love African leather. I love that DNA. So there is that value. There is that thing of, there are some times where you smell something and it's like, okay, this is great. But then it puts you on this search of, no, what does the original smell like? And when you smell the original and you smell the quality difference, you smell the blend difference and everything, it's like, yeah, I appreciate that. But where I am now, this is what I'm good for.
Case in point, it was actually the last one I talked about. It was this. It was M. Micaleef's Gin Tonic. The first time I got my nose on this DNA was through
Maison Alhambra.
A Maison Alhambra dupe, Tonic Ice. Smelled it. I'm like, oh, this is dope. But then I found out, okay, what is it duping? I was like, okay, never heard of it. Ended up in Baroque and Bloom, seen Gin Tonic. As soon as I saw it, smelled it. I said, oh, this is different though.
Yeah.
I see what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
But they ain't do it like this.
Yeah.
And that made me, that's one of those situations to where you have to be like, okay, you appreciate where that DNA derived from, but then you also understand why that OG is the OG.
Correct. Absolutely.
You know, so which is fire.
Yeah.
You have this, don't you have this?
I don't have that. That's on my list though, for sure. Yes, because I have that. Yeah, that's
discounters. You can find this on discounters for, man, like, honestly, I picked this one up from I can't remember. It was a niche Old Factory. I picked it up from Old Factory. Dude, this is a tester. This is a tester that came in full presentation and everything, cap, all that. This is a tester. Got it for $109.
Yeah.
You know, so and that's the thing. Like sometimes that OG, I tell people all the time when somebody asks for an OG of like a dupe of like a designer fragrance, and I'm like, yo, the way the dupe prices are, especially new releases, you're looking like maybe $40 to $60, right? I'm like, just spend the additional 40 to 50 and just go get the OG. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, if you want that DNA, just go get the OG. It's
good, Devin. Good to see you. Just brought Latif was out of Universe yesterday for 25. About to let it sit. The ginger note is too strong.
You know what? I can't even speak on that because my Art of Universe broke about a week after I got it last year, like when it first came out. The atomizer broke. and then I was having trouble taking it back to where I got it from. So what I did is I just cracked it open and poured it into a replacement 100 ml bottle. But that's been sitting for like a year. But I knew right off the bat, it's still one of my favorite Blue Talisman clones, because I think it was my first. And then I ended up getting Blue Talisman and Blue Talisman Extract. But it was one of those things to where yeah, I don't know. I mean, if the ginger note is too strong, I don't think it's gonna get weaker over time.
No. Because for me, the ginger note is there, but it was not in mine. It wasn't too strong. The sweetness is what for me, that Art of Universe is just that much sweeter version of that Blue Talisman DNA.
Yeah, it's a sweeter than that. And Ralph, gin tonic is amazing. It don't have to be it don't have to be from the leading fragrance influencers. Don't worry about it. The real know about that DNA. Fire. Yeah, Joe Milano running at 100, might as well get the OG. Pretty much,
Yeah. Hey, your camera's off or did something. I don't know what you got going on there.
Uh-oh, my bad, brother. Hold on 1 second.
No worries. Yeah, and that's hollow to that point. We're getting back to that. That's part of the conversation as well, is that, at some point there are some things where it's like, if you just spend an extra $20, $30, getting the original is going to get you everything that you need, right? Or get you what you want and get the original. So we're coming to a point now where just the pricing of things is kind of making things, interesting as well, just because with tariffs and things coming into the States and pricing, there's some things where it's like, you might as well just get the OG. Just wait an extra week, get the OG, and you're good.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I think you'll sleep better at night. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like an accomplishment, but there's the thing about it is, what I'm starting to see now, man, like, you have a popular DNA comes out, and there comes every company giving their own take on it. You know what I'm saying? So one of them you may like. I always tell people, like, especially when it comes to dupes, if you're skeptical, get the OG, get the OG, and get the OG. But even if, look at right now, what's the latest craze? Balder Freak Absolute by Barredo, right? Everybody then put their own touch on it and everything. And our guy, Ali, when he got his nose on this car is Absolute Gold from Cot Lodge, he got upset. Like, he was mad. Because he said to him, he was like, yo, he said, yeah. It was, so it's one of those things to where it's like, he's happy that he has the OG. He bought it, he bought it for himself when he smelled it and everything. But you just never know. Like I said, I would tell people, if a fragrance is expensive and it's popular, just wait. Let the dupes do what they do. You know what I'm saying? Especially if that price point is $300, $400, $400. Let it do what it does, because that you might find yourself saying, you know what, I'm cool with this $50 to $60 purchase versus going to spend all that money for a fragrance. So,
and again, at the end of the day, again, you say this, I say this, we all say this: buy what you want to buy, wear what you want to wear, when you want to wear it, how you want to wear it. For me, a lot of, just personally, I'm moving towards where a lot of my stuff is now becoming more in that niche realm, right? But I'm not.
Ali say he's still mad. I told you. My bad, brother. Go ahead.
You're good. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's a matter of, one, for us as creators, we're buying different because of what we do. The average person doesn't necessarily need to have 5 different takes of the same DNA, right? And I've even got to the point now where if I know I don't intentionally do clone wars or clone battles or what have you. Now, if something comes in as far as PR, what have you, at some point I may do a face off between the two things, but I'm not chasing DNAs anymore as far as like which one is the best one of this DNA. If you like Art of Universe is your Blue Talisman DNA, rock with it. If you like, what is that, Blue Electric or whichever one of the Taurathi Blue, rock with it. Whatever it may
Right.
be, whatever is your favorite one, rock with that one. Let us as content creators figure out, what the differences are between them if we're going to do that, and then go from there.
Let's see what Raj said.
See, I'm getting tired of folks saying the Hawass thing is tiring. Tired of influencers always saying, but keep on reviewing them. I think for the Hawass thing, now I'm gonna say this: the private line is refreshing. The private line is sure refreshing. I think the thing with the Hawass is that they're becoming what Lattafa was a year or two ago. Lattafa was dropping things like every 5 days, it seemed. And it seems like Hawass is doing that. So that's the part that's tiring, as it were. Because then it's like I can't say this is good, or I can say it, but I can't really enjoy this because tomorrow this came out. And then I get this, and then 3 days from now, this came out. So that's the part that for me is tiring with the Hawass as far as that. But again, that private line is one of the things I'm looking at and saying, okay, that's different. They're taking it in a different way, and they did a different thing with that. So I can respect that a lot more.
And you also got to understand the dynamic when it comes to Rasasi and Hawass. They got some internal family issues going on right now, to where you got some brothers and all of them control the right to be able to drop stuff. So now it's not like they just only have competition with other brands. They have competition with each other. So that's why we getting what we getting. I love to see it, because I'm just trying to find the next thing dope to talk about it. A lot of them that came out recently, there's a few that I'm not a fan of. Venom, I'm not a fan of. Nautilus, like I said, I'm not a fan of. Just give me either the OG 40 knots some surge off or another alternative, but that one is not it. Majestic, I thought I wasn't going to like because it was a BR 548 straight dupe, but I actually love what they did with it. What FB created with Hawass and that Sapphire is probably the best one that's out right now, period. Especially, and I'm talking about the entire Hawass line. That has moved up to my #1 Hawass fragrance that has ever come out. But, it's one of those things to where it's like, it's not that it's tiring. It's just from a content creator standpoint, it's hard to keep up with.
Right.
Because I think today, didn't we have, there's a BOA that just released. Because I think I just saw Flan out there in New York. There's a BOA. And then he also has one, I believe. I'm not sure if it's that one, but I think he has one that's it's hard to keep up with. It's not that it's tiring. It's just that it's difficult to keep up with. And we want to give people as much information we can.
Yeah, I think that's the better way to put it, is that it's hard to keep up with everything that's happening, right?
Yeah,
because it's like this came out, and so we're talking about, for example, we might be talking about Highness, and then now we've got Thunder, and now we've got all of the other things. Now we've got a private line to talk about, and now BOA's coming out. So I think that's the thing. It's not necessarily that it's tiring; it's just hard to keep up.
And you know what it's reminding me of? The
sneakers, yeah.
It's reminding me of that. I'm gonna tell you. The fragrance is getting just like how I saw this live in action. There used to be, you even know as a kid, there used to be one Jordan release every couple months. When the sneaker game got at its highest, there was probably about one release every week, right? Which is still cool. But then you had 2 or 3 releases on every Saturday. So it became like, now you got to actually choose, because now the expenses of you wanting everything doesn't match what your income actually brings in. And especially when you got fragrances houses like Hawass that drops 3 at the same time. I think the Exotic, Thunder, and it was another one that came out. They all released at the exact same time, like dropped the same day type deal. So that's the thing, but a lot of fragrances I think would be loved if people tried them. They would seem like, I'll go swing over there and check it out, man. But that's the thing. That's the space that we're in right now. Like, new things. FragCon was a place to be able to try and explore new fragrance houses. And I mean, we fell in love with, brands like, and y'all gonna see it coming soon, Old Souls. I
Mhm.
mean, what else we got? I mean, the 11. Like, there's so many brands that are out there. Zaccato. Like, there's a lot of fragrance houses out there that's really, really, doing something great. Layer,
Mhm.
that. So trust me, man. I know Maison Vale.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fragrance houses out there. So, we're not stuck on it. It's just that it's one of those things to where if you start seeing a lot of creators not talking about the popular stuff that's coming out, that's because we're focused on some other things that we want to talk about.
Mhm.
And we can't just keep up with so much stuff that's just going on from the Middle Eastern market when these indie brands are out here putting in the hard work to create some great, great products that are worth being talked about.
It's kind of like, because I look at it like this, just if you think about music, there are times and seasons where every sound, every musician's or every song that's on the radio sounds the same, right?
Yeah.
It just, when we talk about, for example, the No Limit era, it was just like everything sounded the same coming out of coming on the radio. And so then it was refreshing to hear something that was different, that still in the same vein as it were, but just sounded different. And I think that's what it is with fragrance. It's like there's a lot of things that are just now feeling repetitive, as it were. And so when we're coming across a Mason Vale, we're coming across an 11, a Layer, Old Souls, and or Parfums du Ciel and what have you. Now we're coming across brands that are doing things that are innovative. Like I said, with Groove with You, there are some things that she put together with some of her blends that it's like I would have never thought about that, right? And just
Right.
the way she's putting them together.
That's
I,
that's the beauty of That's the beauty of houses like Parfums du Ciel. It's so refreshing because these are DNAs and blends that, like you said, we wouldn't have thought of, and we damn sure wasn't expecting,
Mhm.
to come from a fragrance house. When you start mixing, I mean, hell, when you Gooseberry, I guarantee you nobody knew what the hell Gooseberry was before she dropped this fragrance.
Mhm.
Like, it's one of those things to where it's like it's refreshing to get something new, and it makes you want to tap into newer houses,
Right.
discover just these new brands and stuff. And sometimes you have to take your foot off the gas of what's popular to get out there to bring light to those brands that are worth showcasing.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So
Yeah, I mean, it's look, when it comes dupes, just like you said, when we was having a conversation at French Avenue, inspired by fragrances have their place.
Mhm.
They have their place. They're I think at this point they're always going to have their place, especially from the aspect of like some people don't have 150 to drop on a fragrance.
Correct.
So they damn sure don't have 3 to 400 to drop on a high-end niche fragrance.
Mhm.
And I love the fact of you're always going to see as much niche as you see, as much indie niche as you see, as much black owned as you see, whatever the case may be, you still are going to always see affordable fragrances come from me because I know it's fitting to a person or it's fitting to a market that does not either by choice or just can't spend 1 to 150 on a fragrance but want to smell good.
Right.
And it's like, we have to feed into that because there's a lot of people that enjoy smelling good. You think about the kids right now, there's a wave, a culture shift. I know teenagers who have collections now. And how
Mhm.
are they building their collection? Through affordable fragrances. They don't have the money to go spend 200 on on an indie niche product, but they do have 30 to go spend on a Rasasi Hawass
Yeah.
or, a Rayhan or something like that. So there's a lot of followers. Like I said, pay attention to the people that are actually following you and feed. You got different people. Not everybody is made of money and can afford, a Guerlain fragrance, or a Creed or something like that. So there are people that
That
are looking for
or
that
that
content.
content.
So
So
it's
it's
always
always
good to
good
just be
to be
versatile
versatile
in
in
your
your
content.
content. Yeah. And I mean, to Beardson's point, yeah. Um, one of the things I know for my channel initially was driven heavily by inspired brands. And I know if I ever need to hit numbers as far as trying to get my views to a certain point, I know what I can drop. But I also know what interests me and what I'm loving and what I'm really rocking with. And I know what my audience, the audience that has flowed with me, there are some that are like, hey, I love the fact that you talk about this, but you're putting me onto other stuff. And so because, you know, for me, the way I've set up my channel, the way I'm always approaching this is SmellGoodz is really all about my fragrance journey. At the end of the day, this is about me talking about the things that I like and I enjoy. And so if my journey is inspiring to someone else and helps them on their journey, that's the goal. And so if your journey is at the inspired brands and that's all you're going to stay in your journey, cool, you'll have some content for that. But if your journey is growing like mine is growing, then we're going to grow together. We're going to have content for days because there's so much out there to smell. There's so much out there to put nose on. And at the end of the day, we can't just lock ourselves into, well, I only rock with this or I only rock with that. Just fragrance is fragrance, and enjoy what you enjoy and talk about fragrance. As Walt says, I don't have a dog in the fight. None of these brands are paying me X amount of dollars to promote anything, right? A free bottle is cool, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna do what I do.
Yeah, I look at it like this. It's one of those things to where as a content creator, people think that, oh man, they get sent all kind of stuff. This is work. This is a responsibility. So guess what? We have to talk about it, but we do find that balance. I know for everything that I have to talk about, I'm going to find something I want to talk about.
Yeah.
That's why I try to, my videos have so much variety. It's not going to be just about the latest things that coming out. I might dig something out of the stash that I just been wanting to talk about. Or I've been rocking a fragrance today that I just feel like I just want to talk about. So it's about that balance. And I actually feel sorry for those people who never get a chance to talk about what they want to talk about because they want to accept so much PR. When you accept PR, when you accept so much PR and those boxes are piling up at the door, you're now stuck either on a timeline or just an obligation to talk about something that you have no choice but to talk about because you accepted that barter contract by taking that fragrance from this brand, and now you got to talk about it. And you may have just went out and purchased something out of your own pocket that you smelled in the store that you were so excited about, but you don't have time to talk about it now. So yeah, that's a whole nother conversation when it comes to PR. Yeah. People think they want PR until you get PR problems and shit.
Yeah, we all got them problems right now. So it's like, yes, sir. All right. Well, listen, bro, I appreciate the time. Listen, we wanted to just give y'all kind of some insight into ASD because we were both there. Some people saw, you know, I think you all saw the stories and everything. So it was a great event, but just bring some balances to what the event was about, what the video, what it was for and what have you. So at the end of the day, we appreciate you guys rocking with us. Let's see what here Rev Ross says. Early videos on fine scents at reasonable prices was a gift. Cloud chasers are killing the game. That's why your boy in Chicago is in trouble with the law. That's a whole other thing. I may even talk about that dude on my next live on the weekly blend on Tuesday. But at the end of the day, go ahead. You were about to say something?
No, the Rock is in the building. I want to ask this question. I do have a video on plum liqueur.
Okay. Some
months back. So yeah, if you go check either my IG or my TikTok, I do have a video on plum liqueur from Paris Corner from a while back, brother.
Okay. Perfect. Other than that, listen, if you're not following Dez, make sure you subscribe to his channel. Make sure you hit him up on IG. And likewise on me. I know most of you are here, or a number of you are here and you're subscribed to me, but make sure you also follow me over on IG just because we're growing that as well. And TikTok's becoming a thing. We're gonna try and push through some TikTok and see what happens over there too.
Also, yeah, we just ended the conversation off about affordability. I do have a YouTube video that I just dropped today for 10 fragrances that smell very damn expensive, all under $150. So go check that out. I think that's a dope vid.
Yeah. So definitely, bro, I appreciate you. Of course, hang backstage for just a moment. And then everybody, we appreciate you all stopping through. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us for this evening. Again, it's a Friday evening, but again, we haven't had the opportunity to have the conversation on Tuesday because I was traveling. But again, we will continue pick back up next Tuesday. And again, make sure you're tapping in. I've got videos coming out. I've got a lot of videos that I need to get out. So just stay tapped in on all the networks, on all the channels, so you can kind of get the latest thing. And again, we appreciate you. We will see you next video. Y'all have a great one and be blessed.